Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
New on Curiosity Stream. Deformed trees, mutated wildlife, and no humans for miles. 10 years after the disaster at Fukushima, see what this irradiated ecosystem can teach us about nuclear fallout on Radioactive Forest. Plus, looking for the most diverse marine life on the planet? Dive into the Coral Triangle and experience a frenzy of wildlife you've got to see to believe on nature's greatest secret. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Hey, we got some new gear in the Rock Shop because we are celebrating our 50th, and this is some sweet gear, a whole host of new limited edition gear celebrating the big one, the golden anniversary.
Ah, man, the beanie. It's clutch. Well, actually, yesterday it was too warm to wear it, but I just rocked the damn baseball T-shirt one. That was pretty sweet, the three-quarter sleeve thing.
Yeah.
I like all the KSW 50th merch, man. I think the hoodie's awesome, the T-shirts are great, and the beanie's my favorite, though.
And also, we had the sunshine yesterday. You're going to need the trucker cap at some point. We got that.
I need to get one of those. I don't have one of those.
You got to get, the trucker hat's pretty sweet, actually. And we got light zip hoodies, too, because, we get the transitional time where it's not completely warm, not completely cold. Could have worn the hoodie yesterday, as a matter of fact. It's all celebrating KISW's 50th anniversary. Celebrate with us. Go get some merch today at KISW.com.
Let's play B-Migs. It's time to play the game. Yeah. So everybody scream his name. B-Migs. Don't be a loser. Whoa. B-Migs. You're a loser. It is time to be Migs, and it's time to turn down for tequila.
What? It's Tuesday. All right. Yeah, I could use some, actually.
Oh, you think you could?
It's just slow, Tuesdays, man.
Oh, yeah.
Mondays.
It's the black hole of suck.
Yeah.
It's the worst day of the week, always and forever.
Why don't we should just make sure to just say Tuesdays suck.
Yeah. We can just make a T-shirt that just says that.
Yeah.
A two-shirt.
It is amazing, because when I got started in the world of working, it was Monday. Mondays were the worst, but now, Tuesday has just risen above.
Yeah. Well,
Tuesday sucks.
But we can turn it around. We don't have to live by that. We can change it. We can make Tuesdays great again.
Oh, we could. We can try. We can see what happens.
Let's just try next Tuesday. I'm not into it.
Okay.
It's too much work.
I'll see you guys all next Tuesday. We'll do that.
Wow. Let's get to our contestant. We got Dustin in Bellevue. Dustin, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. All right, Steve, get out of here.
Goodbye.
For those playing at home, Dustin will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Dustin, you can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Which band is the musical group for The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon?
Pass.
How many times did Hugh Hefner get married?
0.
No.
2.
No. 3 yes. What is the constellation in the shape of a winged horse called?
Pegasus?
Yes. What was Toyota's first popular hybrid car called?
Camry?
No.
Corolla?
No.
RAV?
No. Right. Zazu is a fictional bird from what animated Disney film?
Lion King?
Yes. The band AC/DC originated in which country?
Australia.
Yes. What does a seismologist study?
Earthquakes.
Yes. How many times did Ross get divorced on Friends?
Once, twice.
No.
3.
Yes. The first Woodstock Festival was in what year of the 60s?
61, 62, 63.
No. What breed of dog is Scooby-Doo?
Pass.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 correct.
Oh, not too shabby, but
No.
I feel like Steve is going to...
Yeah. There's a couple of those answers where it's the easiest guess is the best guess on that one, and sometimes you got to be a little juvenile with your humor. But we'll have to see if. I know Steve will get that one if he gets to it.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe he won't get the other ones. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. But not enough to bet breakfast, that's for sure.
Oh, no. Oh, hell no. Steve, are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Which band is the musical group for The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon?
The Roots.
Yes. How many times did Hugh Hefner get married?
3 times.
Yes.
Oh.
What is the constellation in the shape of a winged horse called?
Pegasus.
Yes,
Pegasus.
What was Toyota's first popular hybrid car called?
A Prius.
Yes. Zazu is a fictional bird from what animated Disney film?
Zazu. I'm going to go DuckTales.
No.
I don't know. Sleeping Beauty?
No.
Lion King.
Yes. The band AC/DC originated from which country?
Australia.
Yes. What does a seismologist study?
Size.
No.
Earthquakes.
Yes. How many times did Ross get divorced on Friends?
Twice.
No.
Once?
No.
3 times?
Yes.
Really?
The first Woodstock Festival was held in what year in the 60s?
Nice. 1969.
Yes. What breed of dog is Scooby-Doo?
He's a beagle.
No.
He's a Labrador.
No. It's Steve. So close to a perfect 10. But you won 6-9.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, Dustin.
All right, thanks, guys.
Take care.
Yeah, really, who wants a perfect 10 when the other guy gets 6 right?
I would have actually been mad at myself.
It seems like you would have thrown that because I figured everybody knew what kind of animal or what kind of breed of dog Scooby-Doo is.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I feel like Steve's gotten that right before.
I probably.
What is it?
It's
Great Dane.
Yeah.
Great Dane.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
Yep.
This one's a beagle. Oh, Snoopy's the beagle.
Snoopy's the beagle, yeah.
Beagle,
Yep. Scooby-Doo
yeah.
and Marmaduke are both Great Danes.
Yeah. Marmaduke's way bigger, though.
Is he?
He's the big red dog.
No, that's Clifford.
Oh,
Clifford's
damn.
the big red dog, and he's not a Great Dane. I think he's just a mutt.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Apparently, Steve
I
isn't
don't-
as well versed in his dogs as I thought he was.
Marmaduke. I thought Marmaduke was...
Marmaduke is the comic strip Great Dane.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
There are many Beat Mix contestants scratching their heads right now going, how do I lose to this guy?
Oh, you know.
Yeah, well, you won today, so it's a great Tuesday for you.
Yeah,
Owen
congratulations.
Wilson was in the Marmaduke movie.
Wait, there was an actual Marmaduke movie? I just thought it was the comic strip.
That's right.
There's a live-action Marmaduke movie?
I think it was pretty... Yeah, Marmaduke and George Lopez. I mean, Owen Wilson. He was the voice of Marmaduke.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That movie apparently didn't do well.
I don't even know if I've ever seen it, to be honest with you. I kind of want to now, though.
Well, there you go. You can watch it with the kiddo and maybe
Yeah.
have some fun with that. Maybe.
Oh, God.
2010 it came out.
Yeah. Do we want to say, what does we have a Rotten Tomatoes on this?
Tomato
What?
meter, 9%.
What is it?
9%.
Audience score 42.
Oh, 42% of people liked it. That's good.
I'm sure it was their kids who were voting on this.
Or they were stoned.
That too.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet that's there's a lot of some of those people. I'm like, really, you like that movie? Okay.
Yeah, Owen Wilson was Marmaduke, and then George Lopez was the voice of a cat named Carlos.
Ah, okay.
And hilarity ensues.
Oh,
Sure.
so was it CGI then? Is that what it was? Or was there
looks like
were there real people?
It looks
Doesn't it
like,
look like they were real dogs?
Yeah.
Maybe their mouths was moving like through technology. Maybe CGI? I don't know.
Like whoever did Air Bud or the Scooby-Doo movie, so maybe some CGI.
okay.
But it had a pretty good cast. It had Emma Stone, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, Kiefer Sutherland, Damon Wayans Jr.,
Okay.
Marlon Williams. Oh, Sam Elliott.
Dang,
Freaking
they had everybody in it, and it didn't do well.
Somebody called in all their favors for this
Right.
movie, or they had a lot of money.
That too.
And it looks like, it was live action, but they used animation on the mouths to make the mouths move.
Oh.
Which is super creepy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Boy, some of when they just did the mouths on a lot of those old stuff that I used to watch, you'd be like, that is weird. Yeah.
We're not getting anyone texting to tell us whether or not this was a good movie. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I think we all agree it wasn't worth the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to go back and watch. 2010?
Oh, yeah, that's a
right.
tough one. Yeah, 2010. That's, as a matter of fact, Taylor Swift actually just used a callback to 2010 because she's not happy. Has anybody watched that Netflix show Ginny and George? Or Ginny and Georgia, I guess?
I don't even know what this is.
Neither do I. I guess this is weird.
Ginny and Georgia?
See, this is now. I don't know why Taylor Swift is blasting Netflix now, unless this is a show that runs every week, because she's mad at their finale. But I don't know how long Ginny and Georgia has been out, because Netflix just usually releases everything at one time.
Apparently, it was released February 24th.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it just came out.
So people are just wrapping up, obviously, the binging of it all. And so apparently in the finale, Ginny and Georgia are arguing about relationships, and they made a Taylor Swift joke while doing that.
So what, you and Hunter? I'm guessing that's over.
What do you care? You go through men faster than Taylor Swift.
And Taylor was not happy.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
she doesn't like people making fun of the fact that she's had a lot of relationships.
Yeah, Taylor responded. She said, quote, 2010 called and wants its lazy, deeply sexist joke back. How about we stop degrading hardworking women by defining this horse S as funny?
I kind of like salty Taylor Swift, I'll be honest. Taylor just seems like she's just done. She's sick of being the butt of everyone's joke.
Yeah, I mean, I remember her being able to, Kanye basically ruined her moment, her first award that she really ever got in front of a bunch of people. And she just was like, very, okay, whatever, man. And now, yeah, she's like super salty and like, I'm done. Maybe it probably all started with Kanye.
I mean, you know what it has to be? It's just years of people making fun of this. I mean, I remember watching one of the documentaries. I did feel for it a little bit. Like, it's like, you're just trying to live your life growing up. You're dating people like no one else. I mean, imagine like all of us like having every single person laughing and goofing on us anytime a relationship ended or making fun of the fact that we can't stay in a relationship. I mean, that's pretty much anyone in their young years. Not everybody just meets one person, just marries them for the rest of their life or like meets their high school sweetheart. Like you kind of have to like go through some turds until you find the right person. And here she is like being made fun of years about this. I mean, I don't know how mad she was, or if she was just kind of like, hey, I'm going to take a shot back at these people. They're going to take a shot at me. I mean, no context in a text or a tweet.
Yeah, and I mean, look, you're famous enough that someone points you out. I get what the joke is trying to do. You're basically trying to say, you know what, you go through a lot of people. But I think it is a double standard because you just don't hear that kind of joke about men. Like you go through women like blank because, well, it's never considered a bad thing if a man is with a bunch of women in his life. And I can see Taylor's point on that one. It's like, it is. Like, who cares? I mean, yeah, I mean, look, not that I follow, Taylor Swift a lot, but I don't know her to go through a lot of relationships. I know that she writes about people she's no longer with, but that's kind of like music, I mean, how many dudes have written a song and it's based on some woman that jilted them or they ended the relationship?
Tons.
Yeah. So has Taylor known for this? Not more so. I remember like Elizabeth Taylor was always the gold standard for, okay, she's been married a ridiculous amount of times. Her and Larry King were the ones I remember, just had ridiculous amounts of marriages. But when it comes to relationships, I don't feel like Taylor's had any more than anybody else that I know of.
Keep up on it, but I mean, maybe even if it's just a handful of people view it as like a ton, even though it's like, over the course of 10, 15 years. I mean, is it really that many? But I do like this one text that says, I can't wait for Taylor to go can't wait for Tay-Tay to go full falling down one of these days.
Yeah, it's going to happen. You're absolutely right. It's going to happen because, as you get older, you just lose patience for a lot of stuff. You're right.
One text says it's kind of like Nickelback. They used to have a good sense of humor about people goofing on them, but eventually they had enough.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point, man. You're just like, what, really, every time? I mean, I get that about being a geek. It's like, okay, do I have to hear the basement thing again? Hey, you're living in your parents' basement. It's like, okay, I mean, do you realize that's not really what geeks are anymore?
And in all fairness, you're living in your own basement. I mean, I think that's fair.
Yeah, see, it's my own basement. I paid for it myself.
I earned this basement, damn it. I can do whatever I want in it.
Whatever I want. All right, I got a question. Why would someone take a neighbor's goat and then paint it? Well, you're going to hear why. At 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
New on Curiosity Stream. With superior armies comes superior weapons. How has innovation mechanized the battlefield? From bullets to battleships and everything in between. It's machinery of warfare. Plus, from the gross to the gourmet. See how that in-flight meal lands on your tray table. On secrets of your airline food. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Imagine if you could sell your home and get paid twice. With Orchard, you can. It's simple. Orchard makes you a cash offer on your home. If you accept it, here's your cash. Really? Then Orchard handles everything from there. Painting, repairing, listing, and showing your home. When it sells for more than Orchard paid you for it, you get to keep the profit. And Orchard has a near-perfect track record with winning customers that extra money. In today's competitive market, with so many real estate companies trying to lowball you, only Orchard pays you the upside when your old home sells for more. Ready to get paid twice for selling your home? Learn how at Orchard.com. It's the new way to home.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Well, there's delightful people out there, especially this 34-year-old woman by the name of Erica. She's from Alabama, and she's the friendly type, as she recently stole her neighbor's goat. Oh, don't tell Taryn.
Dude, I always chuckle whenever I see Taryn post pictures on her social media pages and there's goats. I'm like, oh, that's right. I keep forgetting that Taryn has goats.
Yeah, she does. Of course, the great host of our night show here on The Rock lives deep. She lives deep enough where she can have goats. And look, I'm sure, the people that have goats like Taryn, they love them. So when somebody comes over to your house and steals them, that is not a cool thing. And that's exactly what Erica from Alabama did. Not only did she steal the goat, but she also painted the goat. And then, of course, you got to take a bunch of photos, right? Put it on social media.
Gosh.
Well, when you do something like that, then the goat owner would be like, oh, wait, she started, connecting the dots. So the goat owner called the cops. They found the goat at Erica's house. And now that Erica, the goat stealer, is looking at felony charges for livestock theft, apparently. So there's a law for that. Watch out for stealing livestock. Also animal cruelty, because again, taking a goat and painting it is not really cool to do to a goat.
No, in all fairness, I mean, it wasn't like she took like regular house paint or something like that. I guess it's like vegetable dye is what they call it. Apparently it's just something that people do with animals. I wouldn't do it personally. I think it's kind of silly, but there are some people out there that they'll dye the hair of an animal, and I think that's what she did.
Some people use Kool-Aid too to do that.
Kool-Aid?
Yeah, you use like the bright colors.
It's
yeah,
delicious.
I mean, I wouldn't want to lick a goat, but you can go ahead.
All right, I'm disturbed. Hey, Erica, though, she's Erica's she's telling us why this whole thing happened.
It was a simple prank, and it was harmless. I would never hurt an animal at all, ever. And I didn't know that it was the neighbor's goat because it was always at my cousin's house. So the fact that charges got pressed and now I'm facing felony charges is a little ridiculous, I think.
City folks just don't get it.
Yeah, it's a prank I just don't understand. Though I will say this. I mean, just because you live deep doesn't mean you want goats visiting you. You know what I mean? Some people just like a lot of wide open spaces, don't want to see their neighbors or their neighbors' goats. I feel a little better for Erica if, in fact, the goat just kept coming over and she's like, I don't understand what's going on over here. Goat keeps coming over to my cousin's house.
Yeah, I love that there's two completely different sides of the story. There's the person that's like, no, she took my damn goat and painted it. And then you got her. She's like, I just came across a goat and decided to put some dye in its hair.
I saw the picture, she's the police shot that they got of her. And, Erica looks like she could be a little bit of fun. I think I'm
Erica, I thought you were talking about the goat. I was like,
the goat. Well, I mean, the goat's just like, dude, why is this happening? Why am I blue? I mean, really.
With pink nails.
Yeah, I don't think I need this in my life. But yeah, Erica's got a really good mugshot, actually, and I think maybe I might be on Team Erica.
Oh, just because she's attractive, you're on her side.
Well,
that's the problem with society, man. We side with people because of their looks.
It's not just like what she looks like. It's the expression on her face. She's just like, hey, man, you know what? What am I going to do? She's just got that look on her face.
I painted a goat. What do you want from me?
What do you want from me?
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
All right. Either you're on Team Erica or Team Goat. Not sure which one, but Steve's, I guess, on Team Goat.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, our girl Erica facing felony charges for stealing and painting a neighbor's goat for social media photos. So based on this, we want to know, what did your neighbor do that makes them the worst neighbor in the history of all neighbors? 206-421-ROCK. Don't be laughing like it might be me. No one's going to call about me. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. There'll be no calls about me. I'm a great neighbor. We got your calls, we got your texts, as you'll tell us what makes your neighbor the worst neighbor in the history of neighbors. Calls and texts after Puddle of Mud on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. There's a woman. I'm on Team Erica, but she is facing felony charges for stealing and painting a neighbor's goat for social media photos. She says it was just a prank. The neighbors were like, hey, man, no, this is cruel stuff. And based on this, we want to know, what did your neighbors do that makes them the worst neighbor in the history of all neighbors? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Let's go to Amy in Olympia. Amy, you are on The Rock.
Yeah, so we're a military family. When we lived in Tennessee, our neighbors, our boys were friends, and then they got in a fight, and our neighbors burned down their tree house. So we would not use it after they moved. Lit it on fire.
Okay, it was their tree house, and they were like, we'll show you when we're gone?
Yeah, it was their tree house. It was the coolest tree house, and our kids were friends, and then they got into a fight, and right before they moved, they just threw gasoline on it and lit it on fire so the kids couldn't play on it after they moved.
Wow, that's
an epic way to leave.
Especially if that could have been a selling point. Whoever was buying the house after, man, it's like if I thought I was getting that tree house and I come over there and it's like, wait a minute,
where'd the tree house go?
What the heck? Oh,
yeah,
damn.
they were pretty spiteful.
Yeah, those are the special people of the world. Oh man, that's pretty epic. I've never been so upset at somebody that I wanted to burn down their house or a tree house or burn down anything of mine for that matter.
And you're right, dude. If I was looking at houses and I was torn between two homes and it was almost like I was I can't figure out which one I want and one had a tree house, I'm going with the one that has a tree house.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
So it says, my neighbors have these backyard parties during the summer where everyone gets completely yes-faced. Routinely, they will stumble out to the front yard and then get confused on which house they're trying to get back into. Many times, they're trying our front door and they're shaking and pounding the door since our door is locked. We live in a nice neighborhood in Puyallup in South Hill.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I don't know how many times.
Let him get drunk at your house. No, I'm kidding.
Oh man, dude, I don't know how. I think one time would be enough for me. I mean, that's because especially nowadays where you're just chilling and all of a sudden someone's trying to get into your house. I mean, Steve, you and your comfies, I'm not sure you would go for that.
Well, I wouldn't even answer the door, and with my Ring cam now, I could definitely not answer, and I could even just go on my cam and just be like, "Yo, wrong house, drunk dummy."
Nice.
I could. Why not just make a sign whenever they're having a party? Just put a sign in the front door and just says "wrong house, drunk dummy."
See, that's another reason to get a Ring cam. You're right. There's so many cool things I could say.
Yeah, you don't even have to leave your couch. What do you want?
What do you want?
And then you have video recorded of the drunk idiot trying to explain why they want to come into your house.
Yeah, plus we get a lot of solicitors on Mercer Island, so it would be great just to like ring cam conversation. What do you want to do? And it's just like this disembodied voice talking to somebody trying to push something on me.
And you can do it wherever. You don't even have to be home.
Yeah.
You're here at work. You just be like, what do you want, you drunk dummy? You're like, I'm your UPS driver. I'm not drunk. I'm just trying to give you something, man.
I got a nice board game for you, but if you're going to be that way, sir, I'm going to take it back.
How about Jason? He says he's listening to The Rock on the radio.com app from the second largest city in Texas. Do you remember where that is?
San Antonio.
Yes, from yesterday's show.
Nice.
Well, he says the neighborhood across the street from where I grew up, the neighbor, he used to take the trash out in his house shoes and purple underwear. It was very terrifying for a little kid.
And that's it.
Yep, just house shoes and purple underwear.
No. You should just go out in your underwear. That's not cool. Yeah.
Yikes.
Okay. That's the worst neighbor. 206-421-ROCK, Texas at 77999. Victoria, I know you always get along with the neighbors.
I mean, for the most part, I just feel like my parents, when we were growing up, we had a really good neighbor to the left of us. And then after they moved out, it went downhill for a while because we had these teenagers. I was probably elementary or middle school, but they would constantly throw garbage over the side of the fence. They whether beer cans or whatever. And then one night they decided to break into our backyard and steal this 3-wheeler motorbike my dad got us and just start running down the street with it, trying to steal it. And my dad heard them and ran down and chased after them. So it's okay, you guys are idiots. Why are you trying to steal from us? We know it's going to be you.
Was alcohol involved at all?
I have no idea. I was a little kid, but I'm what? Why do people do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. At least you didn't have that, BJ.
Well, no, we've got I thought, man, we've got a couple of new neighbors that moved in and definitely upgrades because there's always one house in our cul-de-sac that for some reason the police need to be called on all the time.
Well, it's your house, though, I thought. Because of your daughter.
Besides my house. Yeah. A lot of people suspect my house. I have my neighbor to the left of me who, they not on our street, but basically we're separated by a fence. And they just assumed that a big loud party was Sarah. And I remember the guy texted me and said, hey man, can you turn the music down? I'm trying to get my kid to sleep. And I'm like, dude, I'm not even home. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, there's some loud music. So then I text Sarah and Sarah's like, Dad, we're not even home. It's not us. And it turns out he just assumed because Sarah's younger, but actually it was the, people 20 years older than Sarah just deciding to have a gigantic outside house party. Jeez. And so, we got two new neighbors and I thought we're cool because the troublesome house people moved out and somebody else came and bought the house and it's just a wonderful family with little kids and, everybody's just cool. And now all of a sudden there's new people down the end of the street that now have decided they're going to be the cop house. And we had three cruisers at our place just the other day.
I thought you were going to say, those little kids, I thought they were cute, but they turned out they're just drug dealers. And now all of a sudden the cops are showing up and they're just 14 years old.
They're very adorable. You know what? You got to find a way to move the product, Steve. And so now they got these cute little toddlers running around.
Those Girl Scout cookies weren't paying the bills.
No, they weren't. But it's just it is unbelievable that the luck I have. I don't think our street has been troublesome neighbor free ever. And we don't have that many houses in the cul-de-sac, but it's somebody decides to, take up the mantle and have the cops come by. Oh, all right, we'll be the cop house. We'll be the ones.
It's like that living in a new development now. Whenever you see somebody that's checking out the homes, you're kind of already creating what you think they might be. Okay, they look like they'll be the troublesome neighbors. You just kind of create this in your head. You're like, oh, look at that couple. They look young and troublesome. But it's you just don't know until someone moves in, but it's kind of a weird thing when you realize, okay, we're one of only 3 homes that are filled in our development. So at some point, there's going to be 20-something houses, and it's just okay, well, this is going to be interesting. I hope the neighbors will be cool, and so far they've been all great, but you never know.
I love the fact that, because we always think it's not us. It's oh, they're going to be troublesome. Not even wondering, what do people think about us when we move into the neighborhood?
I wouldn't be surprised, especially me. They see me and oh, this guy. Because all the tattoos. People make their assumptions.
Black shirt. Yeah,
right. I'm bringing in 2 sets of drums when we move in, not just one set, but 2 sets that are just stacked in my garage. I would never think of playing them in my house. But when you're moving in, they're probably you've got to be kidding me. We got a punk rocker coming in with his drum sets.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what I would think. I mean, you're like one of the friendliest guys I know, but because you're tall, because you're black black t-shirt jeans guy with sleeves, I'm just like, okay, this guy is probably going to be the biggest troublemaker in the whole neighborhood.
He's going to have all these crazy parties when they don't realize that I'm just like a hermit that lives in my house and doesn't want anyone to come over.
Your wife is a good equalizer because she just looks like a really sweet, nice person that doesn't bother anybody.
Yeah.
And then, so I think that would at least equalize it. Like, I would be scratching my head. I go, well, that's interesting. She looks like, just the girl next door who probably is just going to, be kind to everybody. I'll be very active in the community doing good things. And then here comes drummer guy. My wife and I would probably go, don't know what to make of this couple. Don't know how it could go either way, honey. It could go either way.
It could go either way.
In my head, I just see a moving company bringing in an entire wrestling ring to Steve's backyard. And his neighbors being like, this is not going to work out.
I think about my buddy who had, during the nice weather, he had his ring because he didn't have anywhere to store it, so he had it set up in his backyard. And I could only imagine what his neighbors were thinking when this is going on. Like, what is happening? Are you turning into like some kind of backyard wrestling federation? And I was like, we should throw a party and just have matches. He's like, no, my neighbors will kill me if I do that.
Honey, is that some sort of weird trampoline? Because it looks like a wrestling ring, but it can't be a wrestling ring, right?
Right, if you screw around it, you're making all these loud grunts. All of a sudden, he's like, what is there, like a fight club happening now in our neighborhood?
Well, we're not supposed to talk about it, so I guess we'll just have to keep quiet. But yeah, if somebody did that, if I looked over in the guy's backyard, he's got a wrestling ring, I'd be like, okay, honey, we got to go. I don't know what's going to happen here, but it can't be good.
We got a text that says, I have a neighbor named BJ. He's just angry all the time. Maybe he just needs to get some.
It's oddly specific, that text, but
what a coincidence.
Not inaccurate. Not inaccurate at all. We got a guy who's going viral for texting a woman he dated, asking her to pay him back for half the costs. I love this guy. Now, did she? I'll tell you at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. If I call Travis, will I actually see him or someone who works for him?
Absolutely. When you come in to my office, when you first call in, my staff will try to help you with any basic questions that you have. I can give you a call back, but they'll usually try to schedule you for a free consultation with me, the attorney, and I'll meet with you personally. We'll talk about the basics of your case, and I'll take you through a question and answer session an interview that usually lasts about 30 minutes. We'll get the basics of your financial situation. I can answer your questions, and we can talk about whether bankruptcy makes sense, your non-bankruptcy options, and how bankruptcy could affect you, what the process is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.